Good evening, Soul Warriors. It is Tara with day 24 of 28 Days to Peace. Tonight is all about soul knowing. So on day 28, I kept having those old stories come up over and over again. And I kept shifting my attention into current moment things, into things that excited me that were coming up. And just the old stories just kept back and back and back. So what I decided to do is to just take a moment and whatever was coming up, whatever part of the old stories, to really take a look at it and see if I could, find any little nugget of why it kept presenting itself. So I did that for a little while, back and forth, and I would only take a few moments, then I would redirect myself back to the present moment. And what I found by doing that is looking at the old thing and then looking at the current thing is that my soul knows if something that's like, and your soul knows, if something's given to you and it's made with love, we know that. If somebody says something to you and they say it with love and intention, you know that. If somebody does something for you and they do it from love, from kindness, from empathy, you can feel it in your soul. Your soul knows that it's authentic and it's real. And so what I was finding when I was dipping back into some of my old stories with the old relationship, friendship, and job, was that people were doing things out of obligation, or people were just saying things because that's what you say. Like when you walk by somebody and they're like, hey, how are you? And they don't even pause for a second to see how you really are or wait for your answer. People are doing things subconsciously just because it's routine, it's just what they feel like must be appropriate in the moment, and then they move on, or they give a gift because they have to give a gift. But when you really get something or hear something or experience something that is from somebody else's soul to your soul, you just know, your soul recognizes that. So what I was seeing a lot in these old stories were things that I was like, ooh, I could see the red flag. I could see where my soul went, that's not quite authentic. Like, that apology is just because that's what they think you need to hear in this moment, or that thing is just to pacify you in the moment. And my soul knew in every single moment, the more I went back and forth into being appreciative and at peace in the present moment to flipping into those old stories, the more and more aware I became. So I encourage you really to trust in that soul knowing and take a moment, like after the fact. If you can't do it in that moment, after the fact, be like, whoa, my soul threw a red flag. Like, what do I want to do with that? Because most of us just ignore it and keep going on, because our job is our job and our friend is our friend, and we don't want to lose the relationship because who wants to be alone, or whatever excuse comes in to disregard that soul knowing, and that gets you in trouble. And that makes you fall even harder when things fall apart. And that makes it harder for you to align back with your soul so that you can move forward in peace and in a very easeful way. So when you trust in that soul knowing, then you can make your next move very intentionally and accordingly from that place with that knowledge. That soul knowing, that gut yes, that gut no, that red flag, that, ooh, that's a good thing. That's all information so that we can make the next baby steps and we can make it in alignment and in ease. So I want you to do what I did and take that moment if you need to and look at it, but break up with overthinking it. Break up with mind fucking it. If you had a bad breakup or a friendship blow up or a job that just didn't fit you, or you didn't fit it anymore, I think we think it to death, why, or I need closure, or all the things that we say, but that just keeps us anchored back in the old story. So break up with overthinking, break up with second guessing. Should I go? I'm not sure. Is alone better than, or maybe they're just having a bad day, or, I'd have to go through the interview process and start a new job, and, maybe the next job would be worse, or all the things. So stop the second guessing, stop the overthinking, listen to the gut, take it as solid fact information, and make choices from there. And if others don't agree with what you're doing, because you're going to get pushback, we talked about that on, I don't know how I remember this, but we talked about that on day 5. When you get pushback from other people, it's because you are aligning with your soul and you're not aligning with what makes them feel comfortable. So it's a super good sign. So if other people aren't agreeing with you, fuck them. As long as you are agreeing with your soul, That's how you live your life in integrity, and hopefully everybody around you starts picking up on that, and hopefully they'll shift and start doing the same. Most probably won't, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, because aligning with your soul is how your peace is going to come to you on a moment to moment basis without having to work so hard to get it. Because I feel like I worked for years trying to find this place that I'm just so easily slipping into in these 28 days. I mean, it's day 24, and going into those old stories, I was like, hey, I only have 4 days left. Why are these things coming up? Like, oh my God, is this not going to freaking work either? But then I realized, like, no, it was just showing me how far I've come, and the differences in when you're living soul aligned, and the differences when you're ignoring those gut feelings that you get. So break up with overthinking, stop the second guessing, and listen to that soul. Your soul knows, and your soul will guide you exactly where you need to go, which is the best place for you. All right. Happy day 24. It's almost the weekend. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow for day 25. Have a great night. Love you.